I mean, what a guy. What a guy. I mean, punishing himself from his own radio show.
Yeah,
That's
man, that's a tough one. But I mean, a lot of the greats do it. I noticed, Chappelle, right at his height, he walked away from the Chappelle show, and look at him now. He's actually about to host SNL this week.
I went from taking walks in like March and April to like nothing in the last couple months. One time a week. It's very bad.
Totally.
um so that actually was one of my tunes that I released last year.
Oh
Yeah,
wait, you did that? Wow, that's
last
awesome.
September.
I
It's
liked
kind of
it.
a I'm not very good with genres, so I don't know how to describe it other than maybe like
One of a kind.
disco pop ish.
One of a
What is it
kind.
called?
Embers. It's called Embers. I figured that we could talk since you're here, Kavi. I mean,
Hmm.
we talk a lot already, so it's not like you know we're
Yeah.
changing anything by talking on a radio station. But we can. I mean, in some ways, we can introduce Louis to the stuff that you do now, and everyone else who's listening here. To what you do. So
Sure.
I know you probably hate to like do a little summary of what you do, but maybe if you could talk quickly.
um, what do I do? I sit around all day and do nothing. And think of all the things I could be doing. No, I am a musician and an artist. So I went to school. I went to Pratt Institute for design, and I'm a fine art painter. But before that, I've been playing. It's called a mridangam, which is a South Indian classical hand drum. I've been playing that professionally for about 5 to 6 years now. So yeah, that's what I pretty much. My day consists of losing track of time with drumming, and then seeing that I lost track of time, and then rushing to painting, and then seeing the sunrise, and realizing that I lost track of time again. So no sleep and constant delusion is pretty much my daily practice.
Well, I feel like in some ways the fact that you're living counterclockwise to everything that's happening actually is allowing you to see clearer than most of us.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, COVID has been terrible for most people and everyone in general. But in some small way, it's like finally everyone's coming into my world where um, I don't know what everyone else was doing before, but sitting at home, staring at the window across, right, and really like paying attention to every small thing because you have time on your hands is what I do on a daily basis. So welcome to my world. Finally. So
Yeah, well, I mean, some of it is kind of unhealthy, I'll be honest.
yeah, of course. I mean, but what's the point of being an artist if you're not going to be unhealthy? At least a little bit. So
Yeah, unhealthy obsessions with things are what
yeah,
artists
I mean,
do.
that's like an interesting point because that's like this whole idea of having a balanced life is something I'm always talking about other friends with, and it's like I feel like in general any craft that you do, you can't make that choice. It's because it kind of like overwhelms you how much effort it takes to even do, like, for example, if we're recording, right, you'll do 3 hours 4 hours of practice, and in the end the thing you practiced was maybe 30 seconds long, right? So you kind of need to be a little delusional, right? A little kind of off, kind of a nutcase in order to really succeed, I feel like. So yeah,
Definitely.
I'm not a, yeah, I mean, be healthy, you know, eat well, obviously, get out as much as you can, but I think balance is more about, depends more on what your objective is. And, you know, if you want to be a musician, then your balanced lifestyle is going to be imbalanced towards music, or, you know, whatever it is your craft is. So,
For,
yeah.
for me, I'm a procrastinator pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I am too. Here's the thing. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm a procrastinator when someone else wants me to do something for them. Is that you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as I call the shots, I'm fine. But if someone else wants me to do something for them, that's when I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's definitely always the case when you have other work to do with other people. It's always, you know, you put it off and put it off. I mean, it depends. If the deadline is like a month out, then you know you're gonna probably wait till the last week or so.
I mean, I think it also has to do with how people work. For example, I know Ashray is very meticulous about everything. Like, you know, he'll work on a piece every day. That's not what I do. I mean, I just don't work like that. So I think it's fine because it also leads to everyone's individual, you know, point of view. That's what is, for example, if I'm ever collaborating with Ashray, that's what I bring to the table is that I don't know what I'm gonna play, you know. Anytime I haven't really prepared anything, and that allows me to have a kind of like new outlook on a song we've already done. So, I mean, it could be a problem sometimes. I totally agree with that, especially when you're recording and you need to do something specific. It's tough, but I predominantly do live concerts. You know, I'm a live musician, so it works out well for what I do. So
yeah, it's a lot less work in the mental sense. I think
I think it gives you a lot of freedom. For some people that's intimidating, you know, having that kind of freedom. I can see how for someone who's really structured that it's intimidating to, you know, go into something not having expectation of yourself even, you know. So it's not for everyone, but I think anyone should go about their craft the way they're more comfortable with, and always take whatever's good from someone else, you know. But don't really change the way you make music or you make your art, whatever it is.
Agreed.
Definitely.
That must be great, like working with other collaborators on it and people that you look up to and stuff.
So yeah, I mean, you know, what you heard is actually kind of common in terms of there's always a solo in classical Indian concerts, especially South Indian. So yeah, you know, the thing I love about the Indian setup, right, is that there's not this necessarily a sense of band. So yeah, you know, if you have friends, you guys play often together, but I gotta say, like 80% of the time, especially in, you know, early on in our careers, you know, my age, young musicians, 80 to 90% of the time, the time you play with someone on stage is the very first time you meet them.
Wow.
You've never spoken to them before, you know, you've never met them before. You go on stage and that's it. The only connection that exists then is with the music, and we're really trained to, you know, improvise like that. You know, anytime you come across anyone. So yeah, that's how, you know, the system works, and I honestly think it's so much fun to go about meeting people that way.
Yeah, and a lot of the music, just to preface, a lot of the music that you hear in some of these concerts is composed already by people who have lived, you know, hundreds of years ago, And
Well, I mean, the most of the modern composers. So it's the same time as Bach, Mozart, and Beethoven.
that's still 100 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Like
it's recent.
Yeah. In terms of human history, the music may have its roots in ancient history, but the compositions and the kind of the format that we are used to and perform today, the contemporary format, is only about 100 to 150 years old. So
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's changed quite a bit since even the
yeah,
early.
especially if right now there's so many changes going on, so
Definitely.
a really fun one. If anyone listening is interested, Audrey and I had a lot of fun with this when I first introduced to him. It's like a simple exercise,
Oh, great!
and everyone loves it.
Here we go.
So basically, yeah.
I'm ready.
So we have this idea of keeping a thalam or thal, right? Which is not necessarily. So instead of just having a pulse, you have a meter of 8 or something, so that things can be in context at all times, right? To the one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people know the one I'm about to show you. It's like
I'm sure there's multiple, right? There's multiple, right?
Well, I mean, there's multiples, but as far as exercises go, the rhythm people know more of them. The thals there, you can make up as much as you want. It doesn't matter.
Awesome.
So this one's a made up one, and the rhythm cycle goes 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just have. So basically, if we keep repeating this, right? 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. But the thing is, my snapping, right?
That timing is so crazy. It reminds me of when I used to do flamenco dancing.
Really?
Oh yeah, flamenco dancing honestly is by flamenco dancing and tap dancing, I gotta say, are by far the most impressive when it comes to rhythmic explorations I've heard. Yeah,
Definitely.
so I'm sure you've ran across them.
This is gonna be interesting. So let's hear it.
I'm ready. Oh.
For those who are listening, like Louie was saying, shout out to everyone out there listening, especially now at the end of the show.
Yeah, the end game listeners, the ones who really stick out. Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's late. It's for those of us in California or in New York and other places in the U.S. It's late, so it's always tough to be paying attention and trying to do something at this time. But we try to bring some entertainment, enlightenment, and music to everyone who's listening.
And deep conversations as well. Or not. Just conversations in general.
For better or for worse, we always have deep conversations when we're talking. Both me and Kavi, and then also me and Chris. So it just happens to be the case.
Oh, dope. And I noted that too, like with the other segments, the therapy. I think it's called therapy, right?
Therapy with a capital T. Yeah.
Yes.
We had
therapy with a capital T, and I heard all of those conversations.
Yeah, that was a great one last week. I wasn't a part of it. I felt left out, but they had a great therapy session. Chris and his co-host for the therapy with a capital T, Hunter, and he has a way of bringing out things in you. He lets you be open.
I too know that I've collaborated with him on some CalArts projects for like classes and stuff, and yeah, he's hands down, out of all the people I've collaborated with, one of the best, hands down.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, when I first met him, I knew there was big things coming. So we're on the rise, and we're on the track for that. And he's working hard, so that's the good thing. The one thing that I kind of force him to do with my like schedules and planning and shit, I kind of bring him to his senses in some ways.
No doubt.
But yeah, all right. Well, we're gonna sign off for today. Best Life Radio. We're gonna be back next Thursday, 10 p.m. PST, with more crazy random stuff for you. Crazy cool music from Quadio and other places. But thanks again for listening, everyone out there, and thanks Kavi for joining us at a late hour.
Yeah, no problem.
Um,
Lovely meeting you, Louie, and talking with you guys.
Yeah, and also, good to talk with you, Louie, and meet you through Zoom. And obviously, be great to see you in person at some point in the next year, hopefully.
Definitely, likewise.
And we can joke about all the shit that's happened, and
and fingers crossed for Joe Biden. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I've got
multiple tabs open. Multiple tabs to see.
We can go into it later.
But we'll save the politics for post show. So we're gonna sign off for now, and we'll be back next week. All right.